Good evening, it's Brian here at Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. I want to show you this really nice car. This is a 1.6 EXI. This is the highest spec available in the Honda HRV. This car is now in stock, available for delivery. I'm going to do this video in more of a freestyle setup because I tried to do different sections and this camera is not playing ball for some reason tonight. It keeps cancelling. So we're going to go kind of one take altogether. But what I'm going to do is just show you the car and we'll give you an idea in terms of the specification that's on this car and what's maybe different about it compared to the ESI spec next door over here. Just before we start, we are Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. We are Fitzpatrick's. The garage here is 70 years in operation almost, a family-run business, and we do brands like Honda obviously here, and then Hyundai and Mercedes and Opel as well. So if you want any information on any of the cars here, including this really nice EXI HRV, please do give me a call, 086 843 1945. Call, text or WhatsApp, and I will be happy to talk to you no matter where you are in the country. Anyway, let's have a closer look at the car. Okay, let's start at the back. So the first thing that jumps out, which is significant to me on this car, is you will have parking sensors as standard on this car at the rear. Also, after that though, here's the cool thing. If you look at these tail lights, these are an LED tail light. So you can see the way they're quite bright and distinctive, and they give it that kind of chic European kind of style look. If you compare that to, we'll say, the ESI, which also has an LED on the rear, but if you look here, the LEDs are on this area here, where again, if we compare it, we have these nice long executive style looking strips. So they look really well. So that's the first significant thing in differences between, we'll say, the ESI, which is a very popular middle spec, and this more seldom and rare, because we don't get enough of these cars actually. These cars usually outsell every year because we get lots of the ESI spec, but this EXI is a little bit more difficult to get. We only get a certain amount of them, so when they're here, it's kind of exciting. Anyway, after that then, the rear windows on this one have a UV tint. However, if we look at the EXI one over here, it has a privacy setup on the rear of the car. As we are talking about lights, I'm going to move around to the front of the car for a sec. So if we have a quick look, this one here is what's called ESI, so parking light in here, dipped and full headlight in through here. This one over here is your indicator, and then down low you have your fog lamp. So just bearing that in mind, we're going to move across over here. This particular one here has same front fog light actually. If you look at this here, nothing has changed. However, the construction of the headlamp is different. So you have an indicator here. If we remember, it was down in this area on the other one. Our full lights in through here, and these are LEDs. So LED headlamps with nice LED daytime running lights. So just to recap, LEDs, these ones here are the more standard halogen style setup. Still very good lights actually, because they're auto adaptive, so when you meet traffic they dip as well, but just the difference is with the LEDs it gives a real bright, precise light pattern. And the other thing I like about it as well is it makes the car look distinctive, so when you see it or when it comes up behind you, you know it's the EXI model. After that then, on the outside of the car, I'm just going to close these doors here for a sec. So the next thing that we would notice is if you look along here, the rear of the car, as we were saying, tinted rear glass on the other one, there is this setup in through here, which is the chrome handle. Looking at the side of the car, very comparable. However, there is one thing over here, which is basically roof rails. So if you look at the ESI model, it'll say it doesn't have a roof rail, whereas if we look at the EXI model, it has these nice brushed aluminium roof rails, and very significantly, in between them, this one has a panoramic sunroof which opens up, but it also has a blind. If you don't want that, you can close it over as well. So that, again, is a difference on this EXI model overall. The colour on this one, by the way, just in case you're wondering, this is what's called Rouge Black. This one here is what's called Modern Steel, which is essentially a grey colour. On the outside, we have nice diamond cut alloy wheels, so you see the way there's a nice reflection of them, and then after that they're black, so when brake dust gets in there it doesn't get as dirty looking, but artificial light and sunlight, when they shine on those wheels, it actually looks really nice overall. So the car in modern steel with the spec so far, with the tinted windows and the LED front and rear headlights, it makes it to be a very distinct looking HRV. Okay, let's continue to show you the boot of the car. One other thing on this car which is cool, it has keyless entry. So basically, I don't need to lock or unlock the car. I can just press the button and it actually opens up and recognises that I have the key in my hand. The boot's quite big on these. Unfortunately, I'm going to apologise because the light is being really unfair with me here. I'm going to try this one over here because the boots are identical in these cars, but the lighting in the showroom, unfortunately, I do apologise, I'm doing my best here, but it is not allowing me. That's not too bad, I suppose, along there. Anyway, if you look along through here, it'll take a second to focus. We have quite a big boot. If you compare that to the Qashqai, which technically is a bigger car, no, that might be better. Basically, if the Qashqai is a bigger car, it actually has a smaller boot than the HRV. So this actually has a bigger boot. So if you've looked at Qashqais or anything like that, you'll have a good idea. And that is the stablemate in the SUV area. There is more storage under there. So you can put some stuff down in through there. Or if you want, you can actually put a spare wheel in through there. So as we were saying, on the rear, parking sensors are going to be standard. We'll also have a camera, which we'll see in a sec. And then at the front of the car, there's going to be parking sensors along the front which will make noise as well. These are the daytime running lights. So when the headlights aren't on, as you were saying, you get these really nice, distinctive looking daytime running lights on the headlamps. So they are mega distinctive and cool looking. Very, very briefly, because again, this is to show you the EX model, but also show you why we'll say somebody is going to see the difference in going for the EX instead of the ES, which is quite a popular model. So if we look on the inside of the ES, cloth interior. So the major difference here is going to be obviously on the other one, we're going to have the roof and we're going to have the leather seats. And overall, a lot of this is going to be similar. This one in here will have Bluetooth and audio and the usual kind of functionality. However, the other one's going to incorporate some extras in that screen like reverse camera. Let's have a look. But just very briefly before we do that, I want to show you some other cool stuff. If you have a look at a HRV, there is no rear door handle. This one's got a nice chrome door handle as we saw already. And just as we said too, it's got the keyless entry, so I can put my hand in here, it opens up, and then I can walk away from the car, press the lock button, and never take the key out of my pocket. Door handle is recessed back here because the idea of the car is that it's giving you that kind of coupe style look. Right, as we said, this one's got black leather in through the centre, in through the seating. In terms of the rear, we have 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts. I've got ISOFIX over here, so I can put my child seat in through here. I've got ISOFIX over there, so I can put a child seat over there. I've got an armrest in through the centre as well, but then this is a Honda HRV, so with one hand I can basically have a tall mode. So what I've done is I've let the seat up and I can put some tall, awkward stuff into the rear of the car. The other thing that's quite noticeable on these as well is when you sit into the back of the car, they have nice LED rear lights. So unlike some other cars, we'll say, which have more of a halogen kind of setup, they're nice bright LEDs. And the other thing I notice is when I am in the car, sitting in the rear, and especially when you're outside, I'm going to have a nice big glass roof ahead of me, so it makes the cabin quite airy and light overall. Along here, I've got leather on the door card. I've got leather down through there on that door card, and then as you see, the door trims for opening and closing and the speaker trims also have nice chrome sections around them. After that, then, if I move up to the front, significantly here, again, we have leather, we have the glass roof that we were talking about, and after that, this is height adjustable. There is not many cars on the market, believe it or not, in the SUV segment that have a height adjustable passenger seat. And it's a really comfortable seat because look at the way the bolsters are on either side. They're very, very supportive. So it's a lovely seat. It looks nice, but it's actually quite functional as well. So let's move around to the driver's side. The driver's side will be where the business is, obviously, with things like the electrics for front and rear and mirrors and stuff like that. We will have an economy function, which is going to regulate how aggressive cruise control and air conditioning is. After that, then, we'll have parking sensors front and rear, lane change warning, which is going to warn me if I drift out of my lane, traction control and turning on or off the alarm. Wipers in through here are automated, so when they pick up precipitation on the windscreen, they'll actually come on themselves. In through here, my headlights are going to be automated, and if I meet traffic, like a car coming like that, they'll dip and then they'll go back into full whenever I pass the oncoming object. After that are street lights. Bluetooth is in through here on the steering wheel, and over here then I've got functionality that I can just switch hands here for a sec and move over. Things like average speed, fuel efficiency, how much fuel I've got left, my current speed sign, all that kind of information displayed in through there in this kind of analog setup. And what's also cool is this round white section changes to green, or actually any colour you want. You can set it up yourself, so it'll basically change colour as you're driving aggressively to remind you there is a better way to do things. Push button start we talked about already. Seat heaters in through here, which we don't need at the moment because it's quite warm, or it's nice in here this evening. Heating controls up through there for dual zone, so either temperature on each side can be regulated in through there. We have 6 forward gears, and then down through the centre section over here, kind of difficult to see, but you will have USB connectors multiplied by 2, HDMI if you want to play video, or 12 volt outlet. In through here we have the radio. So the radio, I've just come into a different car with the same radio just to show you, because it is so dark inside and the camera is really struggling to focus because it is not a very good camera. Anyway, the setup on the radio is the HRV will have a CD player, it will have Garmin navigation in through here like this, it'll also have then touch and swipe, audio down through here, phone, and you can set this up differently if you want. AHA, which is internet radio, and also then we'll have things like an internet browser and all that kind of stuff in through there. And the other thing as well, we said there was parking sensors on the car, but also a reverse camera, which is very neat as well. And this engine, this is the 1.6 DTEC engine. That is 120 horsepower. It is 300 newton meters plus of torque. So you put your foot down, just actually get up and go on that car. This car is 190 quid a year for road tax, and then fuel efficiency, they promise 74 miles per gallon, let's take a pinch of salt, 60 to 65 all day long. One thing I want to say to you here is we have lots of different brands and we trade in lots of different cars, lots of SUVs. This one has lots and lots of power compared to some of the other ones I've driven, so without being specific on them, this compared to some of the competition that's out there, great get up and go. It is definitely the best one on fuel that I have driven so far, and I'm not saying it is the best in the country, but out of everything we've driven, and we get most of the popular stuff in through here, this is a really good car on fuel when it comes to SUVs, because SUVs traditionally are not good on fuel. This one's 60-65 all day long, no problem at all. So again, you can come try one here and see for yourself. Very good engine. Definitely there's people out there would say that need an engine like this in an SUV because they're still doing lots of mileage, collecting kids, all kind of different stuff, just general life. Definitely worth coming and trying, please do. Anyway, back to the rest of the car. So, as we saw, this is nicely spec'd in the front, nice headlamps, fog lamps front, parking sensors, nice alloy wheels. Safety-wise, we've got stability control, traction control, emergency brake distribution, emergency brake assist, 2 front airbags, curtain airbag up here, side airbag in the seat. Moving on the side, we've got a nice chrome door handle switch, as we saw, keyless entry. After that then, we've got a nice leather interior, parking camera, satellite navigation in through the centre, heated seats, height adjustable passenger seat, height adjustable driver seat, all the controls for, we'll say, things like your current speed zone and things like lane change warning and stuff like that. A boot which is as big as Qashqai, which is probably bigger than Qashqai, which is one of the stablemates of that kind of, I suppose, SUV sort of style car. And then after that, privacy glass on the rear, the really nice glass roof, which again you can close, you don't have to have it. Overall, as HRVs go, this is as nice as they get. So, if you want information on this car, please do give me a call, text, WhatsApp, 086 843 1945. I'd love to hear from you. This car is in stock at the moment and can be driven away. We can do part exchanges, we can do finance, and there's 3 years warranty, there's 3 years roadside assist with a car like that. So, as we were saying, if you want a rough idea before you're travelling, you're down the country, please do give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you for taking time to watch. I hope this HRV EX diesel is of interest to one of you because it's the nicest of nice HRVs that we ever get. Thanks for taking time to watch.